What's happening, Vault Hunters and Fantasy fans? We are carrying on today with our roguelike theme in the DLC in Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. So we have no gear on, and today we're pumping it up to Chaos level 10. So just a little bit more, see if we can still cope with the challenge. And this is on the third version of the Molton mirrors, which is called Escape Artist. And we got to destroy elemental barrels. Once again, I'll probably leave that a bit spicy when you got to be punching a lot of stuff. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, let's dive straight in. Yeah, these are a little bit slow getting going. No gear means that I have to rely on my companions and meleeing. I do have my ult, so I still have my class skills. So we'll see how we do. And see if we can scrape our way through another one of these.
You missed me? Well, I don't miss anyone. Come in and I'll prove it.
Yeah, I miss you, Fyodor. You crazy dinosaur blacksmith person. Get it, boys. I also have to be careful here, because it's my habit to just charge straight in, and when you don't really have much helping you out, it's pretty easy to get downed, and the AI isn't necessarily always on it, which means they'll just stand there and watch me wither away. But hopefully we'll be alright. Just got to be a little bit sensible. Once we get past this first stage, it definitely gets a bit easier. We've picked up a spell so far there and a melee weapon, so that's good. Okay, we've got a ring on the go. Let's keep an eye on this. What's the menu doing? Okie doke. I'm quite enjoying taking this new approach to this content. It does feel like it suits it quite well. Going in sort of fairly minimalist. Everything up till now has been pretty low on the challenge front. It's not been very hard. Depending on how this one goes, maybe next time I'll jump it all the way to Chaos 20 and just really put myself in the deep end, and then I can eat my words. Give me some good stuff. We're also trying to get our pink tokens as we go around. The pink tokens are soul tokens, and that's the whole kind of point of this content. You're looking to get these little soul token drops that happen, and then that's how you get your rewards at the end. You may have noticed in the Dream Veil before I entered this activity, there was kind of a wheel of fate, and that's how you get your rewards from these. We'll go in 25 souls, gives us a spin on the Wheel of Fate, and we just get bits and pieces of loot. Might be weapons, might be armor, what have you, cosmetics. This is a bit risky maybe with enemies still around, but let's get that done and get off straight away. Those out of the way. Ooh, risky bisky. There's a big boy. Save me! You look nice and easy to kill. We got. It's another spell. Come on guys, give us a proper gun. That is not effective, and I'm too stationary. Do not like that. One bit.
Justice has been served.
Well, that's good to know. Seriously, no one dropped me any goodies. clean this guy off. Maybe we can get a gun to help us out.
I was wondering when you'd pop up. That one, in particular.
Spells and jewellery. I don't need jewellery. What was that spell though? Because that was a epic. It's nice and safe. I'll give it that.
I lack the ability to do that.
Take that. Oh, losing my headset. Getting too excited. Okay, so once again, heading into... Oh no. Fyodor's dungeon, I was going to say. I love the name for this this quest. Puns and crimishment. It's just... I'm just going to keep saying it every time because I love it. So if I do the little side objective, which was to get all the elemental barrels in the rooms, I do get an additional little reward before I leave each room. So that's quite handy for me, particularly doing this little roguelike version of this, because it will drop me, hopefully, some guns. So I might try and just sift them out. Ah, this first area I don't think even...
Soul is in there. Lost souls. Plural, I mean, go and free it. Them.
Yes! Oh yeah, now we're packing, baby. But yeah, I don't think this necessarily counts as a room. I just realised, so I'm sort of wasting a bit of time. Maybe it does. Maybe it's a sort of a hub room, and when I do all the other rooms, I'll get a reward before I leave. But that's going to be at the end of 4 other big sections, so that's definitely less of my priorities. How this works is you've got these 4 chains at the front here, and we're trying to break them to get through this door so we can get to the boss, Fyodor. And so you've got 4 different kind of areas you go to with 4 slightly different like challenges. That's not quite right. 4 different mechanics to do, and that's 1 per chain. So we're going to head through. In fact, I always start with that one, I think. Let's go counterclockwise today. Change of flavour. We like variety. Ah! Variety is the spice of life. As long as it's sensible variety. None of this crazy over the top variety. I've got to say that. I'm getting older. Okay, so this is actually the nicest looking area you're going to get on this run through, so enjoy it while you can. And in this one we have to break off all the evil black and red quartz that is sapping the life from the environment. Unfortunately, no one seems to be paying too much attention to me at the moment. Oh. Just going to waste all my ammo shooting inanimate objects. Seems like a good way to go. I'm getting excited and running out in the middle of everywhere again. Ah! It's not going great. In a minute, I'm just going to get too many people on me, and then I'm going to complain that I got down. Climb, please. I need to stick with my brethren as well. I'm expecting them to look after me. There's 2 of these chests normally in each of the rooms as well, which just gives me a little soul bonus. Worth looking at for those. If you catch me just kind of giggling to myself now and again, it's probably The skelly mans saying something. I find them absolutely hilarious. The little voice lines they've done for them, and the voice acting is just mwah, perfect. Hey buddy, what you doing? Get up, because you're going to have to get me up. You're going to have to save my life. Okay, let's carry on with these courts. This does seem quite quiet. Ooh, maybe it doesn't. Maybe I'm just setting myself up for a fall. Let's try and get some of these guys out. Pick off the weak ones first. So you can tell my fire rate is massively increased there, so that's like a kill skill, because I got a kill. It then gives me an accelerated fire rate. I can't remember off the top of my head whether that's... I think that's to do with... Oh no, sorry. What am I talking about? That might be a class thing, but I don't think so. I think that's to do with the piece of armor that I managed to pick up. It's giving me that additional perk. I'm not going to get distracted too much, and look, I'm just going to enjoy it while I have it. My health is too low to be doing this. Oof. These guys out of the equation. That's not good. Can't take too many of those. So if you don't know anything that much about Wonderlands or Borderlands games, when you basically when your health is depleted, when your health is gone, you will fall to the ground in like a last stand mode, which then if you can get a kill, you will be able to get back up, and that can happen over and over again. But if it keeps happening, each time it happens, the timer gets faster, so eventually you'll get to a point where you just don't have time to get a kill. You just won't be able to get back up. So you do have to be a little bit cautious about getting down too much. And it's a fun mechanic. I enjoy the way that works in this game. It just keeps things exciting, but keeps it so that it's not, you're not constantly just getting downed and dying and getting frustrated. He says. Who's weak? That guy's weak. And it's actually a mechanic that has been taken into other things. I didn't know of that in any game before this one. But then they pulled it into things like Call of Duty as a perk, which I pointed out in another video recently, but I'm just going to bring that up again because I think it is important to realise how much of an influence Gearbox games have had in the industry, and yet they've never seemed to get as much recognition as they deserve. A lot more effort and innovation in their games than pretty much anything that I could point to, and that's with near enough 4 decades of gaming under my belt, so...
That beam is almost as brilliant as you are.
Now that's more like it.
Now we're rocking and rolling. What we got now? Sniper. Okay, love it. Don't really use snipers too much in the Wonderlands games, if I'm honest. Probably my least used gun type. I don't feel like they do too much that gets me excited, despite snipers in most games being my preference. In Borderlands 2 and 3, some of them were very, very powerful. I think they have had a bit of an issue just knowing how to sort of where to put snipers in the mix. If you know how to aim typically snipers just become just devastating. They just have, you have so much power in your hands if you're good with a sniper. I do feel like in most games it's quite difficult, to implement them well, and allow them to be all they need to be, but without making it so that everything else becomes obsolete. I'm enjoying at the moment, a bit off track, but the chapter and the map and everything has just changed on Fortnite fairly recently. A game that I hadn't played for years, for a long time, but my nephews got me back into it a couple of years ago, and I've been enjoying playing it, but I found that last year, so 2023, the map and the gun balancing, pretty much everything about the game I did not like last year. But we've just changed over at the end of 2023, heading into 2024, to a new map and a new kind of meta of guns and all the rest of it. And snipers are back. I think maybe snipers are better in that game now than I've ever seen them, and that is very exciting for me because I do love sniping. Alright, so we've got a... This thing gonna do me any favours? So this is a Torg. It's not a sniper. It's an assault rifle. I'm using it entirely wrong. However, I don't feel like it's necessarily doing me massive favours. And it is a standard single shot, which is quite frustrating to use as an assault rifle that's not doing much damage. So I think it's probably the weakest Torg gun in the entire game. I think I'm being trolled right now. Stickies, like with Torg guns in the game, they tend to be very good because the ammo is meant to be explosive, and the sticky version of the ammunition is normally the best way to go. Stick them to your target and you get very good damage. There we go. So I think we've got all we can from here. I'm just going to get my eyes over things a little bit. Oh, a couple of souls there. And clean this guy up. Just get as many souls as we can to make sure we get as many rewards as we can. Climb it! And we'll just do a quick check on that. Okay. Yep, that's not a big deal. Yep, okay. And away we go. Might be the longest I've ever spent in that room. I think maybe this is going to be a little bit slow today.
So, you should give up. Just being honest.
So I can shoot that. No, I can't. I can shoot that to turn these off. If one would be so inclined. And what we're doing is we're breaking these chains of Fyodor, and then that's what's allowing us to pull the lever later on. So that's now opened the next area as well. Okay. It's a bit funny with some of these portals in the game. I've probably pointed this out before. I find it a bit funny that some of them you have to press X, some of them you just run into. Which way is it, guys? Oh, I didn't finish the elemental barrels in the other room, did I? See if we can get them in this room. Now we've got some guns, I'm definitely less concerned about my safety. So how many have we got in this room? I didn't pay attention. Oh, there we go. 10 more, huh? Do a quick run around here before it gets too busy. duped. Shoot everywhere. Let's try and get this thing done. Ooh. Right, so they're standing on the paddle. Burns me. Paddle? Panel. I'll do something silly in a minute, like run straight off of the map. Just be a little bit careful. That's definitely a me thing. Always on the look for new cosmetics in the game. There are quite a lot of different bits and pieces to pick up cosmetically, but once you've spent a while in the game, it does whittle down pretty quick, and then it's hard to find new stuff. Fun little extras as well, because you don't just have your clothing and cosmetics in this game. You also have statues and banners. So you have in Brighthoof, the main town, you have statues that are put all around the town of you, and you can have different materials of the statue and different poses that you can select. And then you also have a banner, like a crest on flags, that you can customize and get different images and colors and bits and pieces for. And that will be put up around Brighthoof in various places, but also when you finish areas, there's certain parts on the overworld map that when you finish those, it will then display your crest on the overworld map. And I think if you enter other people's games, there's ones that switch in and out for like each player. So if you have all of you in a game together, it will display different people's crests in different places, which is kind of cool. Definitely what I'd consider an extra and not something that's, I would certainly hope they didn't waste any time doing that versus creating anything else that they needed to get on and make. But either way, something a bit different, and nice to see that sort of level of interaction and affecting the world. Right, I need to actually get on and focus on this, or it's going to take a very long time. Pistol's doing some pretty good work. Quite like this one. Definitely a lot better than our assault rifle. These guys are making me work for this as well. Might need to be a little cautious going forward. I'm not going too bad on the health. It only takes one or two little sequences of the wrong stuff happening, and I'm going to be out of here and in the lobby, and a very... well, not the lobby, there's no lobby. Back in the overworld, and a very sad little bunny. Try this again. Bigger target, we get enough down, things down, it's going to do any good. You waiting for me to end the clip? Is that what it is? Maybe it's not too bad, maybe it's just what it's demanding of me is a little beyond my... So I think this is also a result of the tier 3. It seems like there's a lot more ads in this section than I'm used to. I don't know if that's just because they're spawning every time I touch the pad, but I'm almost positive it hasn't been like that before. I've been just as useless on every playthrough. Oh, baby. Oh. Oh, let's stay alive. I feel like we got a paradigm armor there. So we're just going to equip that and assume that that's going to be the best, best song in town. And that's just going to give us some sort of perk or boost our stats in some way. Some sort of favour. Right, that's that chain done. And then that extra enemy there spawns. I mean, I've probably been running past a ton of other guns, so if I've been doing that, please do point it out in the comments down below how I could have been having a much easier time on the gun front, and I've just been not picking stuff up. Spam, 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 spam. Wow. We are having some good luck all of a sudden. Let's hope that I don't waste it doing something ridiculous. I'm just going to pick up a few more things. Why not? It just feels like I'm doing something. We got there. Assault rifles, just assault rifles endlessly. So I don't think I've picked up anything else other than assault rifles on the gun front. It's been a bit mean in that regard, but we've got a bit of better defense because of other things we've picked up. So let's keep moving. There's more guns to hold, but because they're all assault rifles, we're going to potentially burn through the ammunition super fast, which we need to be very careful of. See if we can get this one cleaned up a bit quicker than that last one. Get off my pad. It's the little explodey guys with the little vials you need to watch out for here. Because you're static, you get these little guys that will just rush you and blow up, and it will often have a freezing effect. Where is that guy? Often have a freezing effect, which then means you are then vulnerable for a while because you are slowed, debuffed basically. So I just put up a video fairly recently. Of my tier 10 playthrough, or tier 10 trial rather, of the chaos chambers. So that's up there to check out. That was a no commentary one, just for a bit of a change, bit of variety for people. So that's there without you having to listen to me struggling to talk. We've got SMG in the mix. That's good. So we are starting to get up the Chaos ranks now. I am very, very keen to be pushing them more. I had a very nice comment the other day from someone who's enjoying the Chaos levels, and they're at level 100. You know, they're already up there. So we are going to be heading that way. We are going to do our best to get to Chaos 100 as well.
Vesper's got you standing in ancient magma now. What won't you do for her?
A villain in our midst.
It's nice having this variety, doing the Chaos Chambers in a little bit of a different way. And yeah, this roguelike sort of vibe on here where we've got to just deal with whatever gear we've got, I think helps to enhance the enjoyment of this mode. So I think I'll probably stick with that for the rest of my run-throughs until I've completed all of the tier 4 of the DLC content. And then afterwards we'll look at some different stuff. Maybe I'll do some roguelike runs on the Chaos Chamber at higher Chaos levels. But we'll take it one step at a time. We've still got playthroughs going on the channel as well. Simultaneous playthroughs of Borderlands 1, 2, 3 and obviously Wonderlands. Also doing Tales from Borderlands 1 and going to be adding some other things to the list. Very recently I've had a bit more time, so I've also been doing some videos just focusing at some of the more fun stuff in the Borderlands and Wonderlands games. So doing some Easter egg videos and just some other little shorts. Just, you know, just enjoying and appreciating how much good stuff, how many good times there are to have with these games. So that's really starting to bother me. Let's try this, oh. Wait a minute. Try this again and see if we can get all of our pellets on this guy and see if we can clean him up before he cleans us up. Get off me, you. We're doing science! It's a lot of pellets to have to get out with a single press. Gonna blow up? Well, either way, he gone. Another no, that's a sniper. We do have a sniper. And we do have shotgun. Okay. Okay, now we've actually got some choices. This is good. New spell. Let's try that one out. So we'll switch this around. I'm pretty pretty OCD with my order of stuff. And I'm actually going to get rid of that. Oops. Which seems kind of, you know, maybe I'll need that when I get to boss time, but I'm going to ditch that for the moment. It's just too slow for what I need to be doing. That sniper. Not being too bad so far on the old Chaos level 10. Maybe I made a mistake. I thought I'd done the first one on Chaos level 5. Not the first one, but the last one we did on Chaos level 5. Maybe I did that on Chaos level 10. Maybe I haven't even increased it. It does feel harder though, but these do change when you go from one activity to the next. So each of the 4 DLCs, which are really just additions to the Chaos Chamber, they're just small little encounters, a series of encounters, and then a boss. Each of the 4 DLCs has 4 different versions, which are meant to get a bit harder, and generally we don't see too much different with the run-throughs, but the bosses always have something that's a bit different about them. I'm just looking for this other elemental barrel now, but I have got guns in my pocket, so I'm not going to waste too much time. I'm doing plenty of that without having to search around for anything. So if you see the elemental barrel and I do not, stick it in the time and tell me about it. Point at, oh, wait a second, is that my last one? Ha! You don't get the opportunity to make me look like an idiot. The pleasure is all mine. Alright, that dude, let's get out of here. 2 more rooms to go and a boss, but that's one side of the kind of hall done. This definitely does feel like a kind of, you know, definitely does feel like a kind of Hall of the Mountain King kind of scenario. Definitely got some very good vibes. I feel like they could have some more sort of epic sort of pumping music going. Well, not pumping, but like, you know, if you know the classical music piece that's given the name the Hall of the Mountain King, then you'll know what I mean. Definitely get those vibes.
There are turrets located all around this place. Use them to
And so this boss here, this is actually kind of a bit of a foreshadowing of the next activity, the 4th activity in the DLCs, which is the Shattering Spectre Glass. So that's the next one we'll be going on to do. We'll be sticking with the roguelike, and that will be, when we do that one, that's going to be the end of our Tier 3 playthroughs, and then we've just got Tier 4 left. As we do these, this is increasing the encounters and bosses variation in the Chaos Chambers. So we'll still be carrying on with Chaos Chambers. As I say, we've got all these other playthroughs and bits and pieces going on, all sorts of other small videos. I've got videos that are going to be talking about things going on in just kind of the Borderlands universe, just some lore stuff, talking about the film, all sorts of other things that I am working on. It just takes quite a bit of time when you work full time. So. Extra souls there. Kill him.
Enemy in my sight.
Now I got working 9 to 5 stuck in my head. Working 9 to 5. Give me your soul gems. This guy's a bit spicy. He's very keen to take me out, and I'm gonna get taken out at this rate. I need to be careful here. I did one of these the other day on an easier tier without all the additional fluff that I've added. And I actually failed this one, so not on this part, but on the boss. The boss took me out, and yeah, there were tears, there were real tears. Quite a few melee weapons, right, so we will take that. They get squished. Squish him! That seems unfair. I mean, I gotta stand over there. I promise you I'm not gonna be staying that vertical for that long. Kill him. I got lucky. Turrets are on. Gonna knock out our next chain.
Come through the portal.
Yeah, did it.
We'll talk next steps.
Powers are growing by the second.
Apparently better. I'm not too sure about the SMG. I think I'm changing my mind on that shotgun. I wasn't too keen on the way that was performing. And it is probably good to have those stickies as a backup because you can very much fire and forget. So I can just send those out there and keep running, and that's going to still build up and do some level of damage to my target. Don't have to aim very much with those, so it is a bit of security. The shotgun, I'm going to have to be point blank, which just the risk is a little high when I'm on this sort of weird setup. Okay, one more room to do, and then we finally get to face Fyodor. I'm saying Fyodor, and I guess it's kind of meant to just be Theodore, but is that a typical spelling of Theodore? I kind of felt like it was meant to be a bit of a funny name rather than a more common name. Fyodor!
You're lowering bridges here, and I'm burning them. We make such a good team.
Right, I guess I should fire this so that I know what I'm up against. Okay. Not bad. Mag size on that as well. A little bit of a trouble seeing the line on that site though. The crosshair.
Bridge closer to
Fyodor. It is just said normally. Not my silly way. How many times have I heard his name being said by now? I don't know, but I'm just normally talking over it. Ooh, cheeky thing. Just stand still. Maybe I should give up on that. Let's keep moving. I'm going to keep knocking these barrels, but obviously not being that fussed about it. Need to be careful a little bit. I have a habit of hitting those when they're against a wall, and then they just blow up in my face.
I always told Fyodor. He shouldn't have such a one-track mind.
Yeah, good damage really for a sniper. Spam shots out a bit. Not really a fan of that. Feels very twitchy as well. Keep this trainer moving. I need to get out of here as quick as I can before I get too relaxed and do something stupid.
This mine is a lot like Fyodor's lifespan. Abridged.
Also want to get this cleaned up. I got a date with Margit on Elden Ring on a fresh playthrough, and I'm doing parrying as best I can, and I can get like 75% of his health off consistently in like pretty much one long string, and I just haven't cleaned him up yet, and yeah, I'm really enjoying doing that. Very, very different. My initial play through on Elden Ring, I did it very old school, so I didn't really use the lock-on feature at all. I played it pretty much without the lock-on. I played it with pretty much fat rolling the whole time. Oh, what's the name? Is it Faye? What's the name of the chick? The chick that trolls you in the NPC area. I've forgotten her name. The one that's really into Deathroot. But anyway, she gives you a debuff if you give her a hug, and she gave me a hug, so I made it through the whole game with her debuff. I just held on to that thing. That was good fun. It was very different. Sorry, the point of that was just talking about the different ways you can play that game. No lock-on, very much sort of samurai-style gameplay. A lot of Moonveil and stuff like that. And then, yeah, just started that again. Completely fresh. Not Game Plus, just completely fresh. And trying to parry as many enemies as I can. And parrying is pretty powerful in that game. Definitely recommend if you haven't played a parry build through on that. You definitely should. Another minute. Yeah, lots of bad minutes. Lights out. Wow. Triple legendaries. Can it be a gun this time? No, it can't.
Vesper's getting stronger, I see.
Did I just pick up a barber load? No. Blood bag. Dark magic efficacy. Okay, nothing else that we can see. Should have picked up. No, and I've been here too long. Let's go. It's time to go and mess up the boss fight. And I know what it's going to be. I know what it was that messed me up last time. There's these little gauntlets that he sends you into after every quarter of his health. And I was just running through them because in the lower levels, it doesn't matter. You can just run through it pretty much however you like, and you're going to get through. But apparently you can't if you just get to a bit of a higher level. I don't know if that's the chaos levels making it worse, or whether it's the higher tier of the activity. But yeah, getting slapped around by that thing. So I'm actually going to have to be cautious when I run those little gauntlets. Here we go. Absolutely lovely view up here. I'm very sad there wasn't more in the game that had this kind of mountain, snowy retreat kind of vibe. But Wonderlands 2's in the pipeline. So we get
Unleash hell.
so much good fantasy material out there these days for them to take advantage of. Just for, you know, for their kind of copycat stuff they do, for their references, all the rest of it. Fantasy is still very much alive and strong in the culture today.
Time for a step. I sent evil afoot.
I need to keep opening these as well and make sure that I've got plenty of goodies in my pocket. These are going to be slow. I've really looked at these guys before. Pretty crazy. Let's risk getting killed, shall we? They're like burbs. Oh, they're bullet heads. Everything's bullets with this guy. You know, it's almost like a theme. This is going to be a slow fight, my friends. I'm going to be better off with that corrosive spell back on. Everything is very much armor. The shotgun was corrosive. I don't think I'm going to have any opportunity really to be sniping. And we're going to take that. Let's see if that can help us out a bit.
A healing potion, eh? Unstoppable.
That's better. These guys are just going to keep spawning, aren't they? It's gone wrong.
I am not so easily bested.
You know, some people might have thought it was a good idea to try and run this activity first so you had some heads up of what the activity was, but this is my first time ever having done this and doing it the roguelike version and obviously at Chaos 10, so joke's on me. These guys are just going to keep spawning. I need to concentrate on the crystals more than anything else. And I'll be honest, in most of my playthroughs on this so far, I haven't really even paid attention to these machines in the middle. They generally haven't been affecting me enough to care. But I wish that I knew what they were doing now. Because I'm going to get burned and zapped and all sorts of stuff to death. I don't know how to avoid any of it.
You're quite the killer. Rally, fellows, their champion is born.
Maybe I should be saving these for the boss. We have recommended. This is definitely more difficult than it has been at any other point up until now. Just gotta take our time, be patient, find windows for opportunity without overextending, without standing around too much. Just chip away at stuff. Maybe we'll see it out the other side of this thing. The big issue is going to be when Big Boy jumps into the fray. I still got to deal with doing all of this. And I've got to run those gauntlets. And I've still got to do boss damage with him in my face. So this might be a while. away, box. Ah! Health. I don't have any health when I actually need it when I'm at the boss stage. This is not looking great. Not gonna lie. It's quite possible we've found the correct way to play this DLC. Get out of the way. I don't like you being there. If that thing ever chucks out a double of that kind of shockwave, I am doomed. I am doomed. You're going to have to be a little less talkative, which probably is a bonus for you, but I actually feel like I need to concentrate a little bit for a change. Okay, so get out of it. I don't know if I'm on a timer when I run those gauntlets as well. So there's a number of big questions that are coming up. Ooh. Health. Hello. Okay, there's a consistent timing to that as well. So if you're running around in a circle, I think that shockwave is always at the same point when I'm at 180 degrees different. No, it's not that frequent. It's every full rotation. So that's good to know. It's quite separated. I'm a bit behind my last rotation, so this one's probably going to come a little bit before I get to this desk this time. Maybe. No. Wasn't too bad on the overall timing. But that's quite separate, and that is the definite worst thing I'm going to have to watch out for when I come back up here and I'm dealing with the boss. But maybe running around in circles will do me some good. It'll help me keep track of a bit of timing, keeps the ads off me. I just need to make sure I'm not running into too much else of what's going on. Okay, let's go for it. Oh, that's right, it's him first, then Gauntlet. That's not good. Everyone else do the damage.
I've located the healing vial. They fought nobly and well to the end.
Wow, did he just destroy Vern in literal seconds? He did. Get stuck on the wall here. It's going to be really handy if these chests up here replenish when I come back up. Because if they don't, I'm not sure I fancy my chances. This is slow pickings on the boss as well. There's quite a few pellets on him there. They're just kind of chewing away, but nothing special. He's a very cool boss. I like the design on the boss. I called him a dinosaur earlier, but I guess he's a bit more kind of like a big kind of cow-looking thing. I'm not going to have another look at him though. Right? That's going to be far too cocky. That's got to be getting towards a quarter, so this is going to take a while. This is definitely going to take a ton of patience. Fun guy's bit in the dust there. Okay, first gauntlet. I'm not even sure I know where to begin with this. Okay, so we've got that running around in a circle, spitting balls. The bullet guys are left and right. So if I follow this line of balls, maybe? That was a little bit early, perhaps. fireballs are going to catch up with me if I'm not quick. Whew. Oh. One down. Now we've got to just repeat that entire process 3 more times. It's probably not a good plan to change my rotation yet. I need to get a... there's more blasts than there was before. This is going to be impossible. This is literally going to be impossible. Okay, they're in straight lines at least, so maybe I need to change. Okay, and the gap. Okay. And it doesn't seem to be doing that shockwave anymore, so maybe that's good. It's got that instead. We don't get our chests back, so that's worth noting as well. So my health is even more limited than it was the first time. The fire is still a big problem. I think that's it. I don't think I'm getting out of there. Well, how does the fire go? The fire is spinning. They're going counterclockwise. Let's stay with the fire. I think maybe that's going to be some benefit. Fire's about to catch up with me. Oh, okay, so the fire doesn't come out to the furthest points, but you do have the risk of getting knocked off. Okay, so if I stay all the way on the outside track, I can ignore the fire. If I can get over stuff. Oof. Anyone who's watched me more than a couple times, this is probably the most quiet you have ever seen me. And I think with good reason. I hope you can appreciate how difficult this actually is. And that's with pretty lucky drops, to be honest. I got some pretty good stuff that dropped. 3 legendaries is a big deal. That's definitely given me a boost. And then we got some okay other bits there, some other purple bits and pieces. Just can't get ahead of these shields. Oh, let's stand exactly where you don't want to stand. Seem to be just endlessly spawning more ads, so that's good. So I'm actually better off, I think, not attacking them, and they're just constantly in pursuit. I'm starting to stand around a bit too much, maybe. Let's be cautious of that.
Let the magic begin.
I guess maybe this is why this has all been a little bit off for me the whole time, because I've made, you know, multiple points about how this end game activity, or what kind of is end game or continuation of end game, has felt a little bit mild the whole time. Hence the adding of extra difficulties, roguelike kind of things, all sorts of other stuff I've been playing around with just to spice this up a bit. But perhaps they were just expecting people to be well into chaos levels when this happened, because I had a big break in the game. I've only come back to it fairly recently to do this channel, and yeah, maybe the whole time they were expecting everyone to be at Chaos 100 when they did this, and it therefore has more of the experience that they intended for it to be. Maybe that's what it is, but I still think the balancing is a bit out, because while I've been experimenting and playing this, I did find that it was more fun when I was going in almost at the start of the game, really low geared, low level, and it actually felt balanced better than when you're at just vanilla level 40. Ooh, I'm off the path a bit. I am stuck floating. That's not good. Never want that. Love these bone piles. They've been around since Borderlands 1. It's just a real staple of the franchises at this point. Just stinky bone piles. If you've ever had a legendary out of a stinky bone pile, I'd like to know about it. I'm not sure if I've ever had that. I've definitely had some good stuff just appear out of things like that before. I was talking about one of the playthroughs. I was talking about having got legendaries, and I think even a pearl out of something really, really basic, like a clay pot, just a random clay pot that I've just smashed, and it's been like, bing, there's a pearl. And for anyone who doesn't know, a pearlescent in Borderlands 1 and 2, pearlescents were the very highest tier of guns you could get. Some reason absent from Borderlands 3. But they definitely need to think about bringing that sort of thing back. I want more variety in my end game gear, guns and gear. Just seeing a wall of orange, you know, is fun for a couple of minutes, but health. Oh, I'm too greedy. That's not good. Don't use that gun. Whoa. Too greedy. Trying to push the issue too much. When I had stuff getting too close, too homed in on me. Just get a few shots and keep moving. That's often what you have to do in these scenarios, just to keep alive. Don't give the AI, don't give the computations a chance to just say, you know, you stood still too long, or what have you.
Now that's more like it.
We are making progress, so almost halfway. I mean, it's at this point, it's not insurmountable to see a completion on this, but you know, this is going to get a little bit harder. This machine in the middle seems to be doing different things each time. I'd say at the moment the odds are probably stacked 95 against me. in terms of, I think it's probably a 95% chance of failure. Right. Okay. Whoop. So this one's more of a high and low kind of deal. So maybe a bit of zigging and zagging, 2 flame things to watch out for. We do have this corridor down the side here again, I think is probably my sneakiest way to get down. I know you've got 2 exploding things on that side. Okay, we're going to have to try and just alternate and see what we get. Okay, so we got... Also doesn't help that I have part of a tripod right in front of me that I have to try and look past. Oof. Okay, outside track definitely seemed to be our safest before. Okay, so the bloom, the kind of explosion is back and very frequent. That is not cool. That is super uncool. Okay, so no, it's 2. What just hit me? I'm not even sure what that was that got me that time.
So, smelling salts would have also worked.
Okay. So there's 1, 2. Okay, 1. Oh, not cleared it enough. GG. And that's it. That is a heck of a shame. Oh.
Gorgeous getaway for fans of barbecue and
Oh. Well, we kind of knew it was going to happen. I definitely felt like that was going to be very unlikely. That may change the theme moving forward. I think that means I have to take a step back on the next one and probably drop it back to number 5. Or do I just allow myself like one nice piece of gear? I don't know. I'll have a think on that. Either way, that is no go, no bueno for this session. How many? I've just already done 1 spin. I got 6 more spins, but we learned before that we can actually help ourselves out here. My chaos level is actually higher than I'm running right now. Highest I've got to at the moment is 45, and I'm still looking for level 45 gear to help me out on further chaos chambers, other things I'm doing, other different bits of content. So we can switch this to chaos 45 and it should still let me use my spins, but I'll be getting the highest level gear that I can. The gear that I've picked up in this run is now basically useless, so we are going to chuck all of this stuff off the cliff. Don't deserve any of that stuff anyway. It all went really wrong. This is why we can't have nice things. We'll clear all this out and then it'll be nice and easy to see the proper loot that we're going to get. Oh, it's kind of made me want to go back in now. It's made me want to go and face my demons and give that another go. I'm going to leave it for this session, but maybe I'll go back in and do exactly the same thing. But we'll face Fyodor again and see if we can actually take him out. I've got a bit of an idea of some of the things that are going on there. So I got a bit of a handle on some of the rotation, on some of the guns firing as you're having to move around. But I was getting impatient, I was getting greedy, which definitely didn't help things at all. Things are running on longer than I was expecting. this stuff. Oh, was that stuff that I just... Yes, so that's potentially okay stuff. Rain bolt. And okay.
I don't say this to everyone.
Spells are still something you just really can't get a grasp on. I think you just need to have a better statistics, like in a spell shot class or something like that. Have better statistics to be able to get the best out of spells, because I'm just not finding spells that are that helpful at all.
That color will really.
Alright, we're going to get any new cosmetics.
Only villains would attack someone in such fresh vestments. This justifies every action I take.
You can't go to war without a proper wardrobe.
Ha! Good one, Vesper. Come back here, you. Just a standard salt and battery. So that one's quite good, I think, for kind of melee-ish builds. Definitely could do with getting one of those that's a higher gear tier. So because we're in these higher chaos, got the higher chaos level activated, I have a higher chance of getting improved kind of gear. You get 4 new tiers of gear in the higher chaos levels, and those will be chaotic, volatile, primordial, and ascended. And I will just show you that. So as you're going up in the chaos mode, it increases all the stats of the enemy, so making the game harder, but you do get better returns for that. And down the bottom you can see you've got chaos drop rates. So I've got the chaotic gear as an extra 30%, volatile gear at 34%, primordial at 25% at the moment, and I'm not high enough yet to actually gain a percentage of ascended gear. So I don't have any ascended gear. I have a few primordial bits, and I've got some chaotic and volatile gear. But that's pretty cool. I really like that system. I don't think that it's perfect. I definitely think, whoa, don't know if I've ever had 4 legendaries out of this before, but lucky me. Let's see if they're all the same. And that is definitely good, because I was trying to remember the name of this earlier when I was saying about the spells, but the Threads of Fate is still one of the spells that I find the most useful. I think that one is actually pretty good. I'll fire all of those in a moment, just so... Oh, that's it. Okay. Let's quickly just cycle those legendary spells, just so you know what we got. I'm not really able to tell much about the weapons, so I won't worry about that. So yeah, the Saw Blades one, we've had these quite a number of times. Pretty good fun. That being said, I don't think I've really actually tried those against enemies. Maybe there's something there. The Threads of Fate is the one that I do still like. So this one sends out an orb that then kind of attaches or just sort of sends these beams into anything nearby. That does pretty good damage consistently. And with those, you can see at the where it says "Watch me unravel," you've got the sort of stats below it. You've got the 2 projectiles per cast. You can get those with higher numbers of projectiles. So I have one of those with a +3, and that one is very good, even though it's a lower level bit of gear. So we got the Wicked Gossip. Which bounces around and leaves corrosion everywhere. I'm not sure if there's anything more to that. Perhaps if I had enemies here, it would do something slightly different, but you just sort of get the idea. Especially good for internal conflicts, probably. Barrel Maker, so this one fires out barrels. Pretty rad. And the Rain Bolt.
My spell is ready.
Rain Bolt fires
Magic's
rainbows.
dry.
I don't think I've ever had a spell that fired out rainbows, but I'm sure I've had Rain Bolt before. Perhaps I've been amiss. Might have to give that one a go somewhere, but yeah, we'll check that out. I'm sure I can stick that into the rotation for chaotic as well, so that's not terrible. Could be better, could be better. And we had cosmetics there. I tend to just try and go through this as well, just in case anyone is interested. If you've stuck around this far, thank you very much. This obviously has been not a great session. It did not go the way I hoped, but that's the way it should be. I don't want games that are just crazy easy and I can just walk through all the time. I want things that are difficult and will give me some level of challenge. So although it's not maybe the best outcome for trying to look good on YouTube or something stupid, but as far as I'm concerned, that is the right result. And it's, oops, didn't do that. Definitely don't want that on her face. So yeah, so I can either try that again and see if I can actually pass it with the level of challenge that I've added to it, or maybe I pedal it back a bit and get the clear and maybe try that difficulty again on the next one. We'll see. I'll have a think on that before my next session on here. There we go. Nothing too exciting on the cosmetic front. Is that like chicken legs and stuff? I mean, that's quite exciting. And we got the polka dot there, and we got like the astral. Right, cool. Okay. Well, that's it. Thanks very much for checking out this video. I hope that you had a bit of fun. If you did, please do like and subscribe, all that usual stuff. And I will be working on all sorts of other videos, lots of other content coming out. So please do stick around to the channel. Please do check out more of my videos. And I will catch you next time, Vault Hunters. Take it easy. Have a great day. Peace out.